Alright, this video ain't gonna be for everybody. If you wear your feelings and are sensitive about your feelings, turn it off. If you don't like hearing cuss words, turn it off. If you don't like hearing facts over opinion, turn it off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Well, we're going to relax the children, because if you're children, you don't need to be watching this shit. Look, tomorrow, November 3rd, is one of the most important dates in American history. We have a choice between presidents. People to vote for president: Donald J. Trump, Joe Biden. If you don't vote for Donald Trump, you deserve everything that's going to happen to America. You deserve the riots and business getting boarded up that's happening. If you own any of these businesses and you're having to board up because you're scared that Donald Trump is going to win, which he's going to win. And worst case scenario, he don't win. And then all hell breaks loose. Or with him winning, all hell breaks loose. Either way. And you're not there to protect your business, you deserve what happens to you. People in your community, if you're not there to help your people that live in your community, help these people that have to board up their business due to outsiders. If you look at Seattle, you look at Washington, D.C., New York City, other places, these riots have been going on. These people are being bussed in by the busload. They're setting up tent cities. News media isn't showing you that. You got to watch other channels. You got to watch YouTube. You got to watch the stuff that not a lot of people are aware of. Guys, it's America versus America. And I never thought I'd have to say that. But it's liberals versus conservative. It's right versus wrong. It's not right versus left. It's right versus wrong. Chuck Schumer said it perfectly the other day. If we win back the Senate and the House, we're going to do whatever we have to do. Whatever we have to do, all cards are on the table. Well, why aren't the Republicans doing that? You have to fight fire with fire. We got the Supreme Court, and we got that Supreme Court for decades. President Trump done smart by getting young men and young lady in there. Clarence Thomas is a little bit older. Roberts, he's in his 50s, I think, maybe early 60s. But we got it. But we have to use it. Folks, if you don't vote tomorrow, shut your fucking mouth and don't ever say a fucking word about President Trump. Don't ever say a fucking word about Nancy Pelosi, Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC. Don't say nothing. Because if you live in these districts and you didn't do your due diligence to try and get them out of there, you deserve what you get. You deserve it. In South Carolina, we're battling a no-name, out of the blue. Never heard of him. Don't even fucking know a word about him. Hell, I forgot what his damn name is. That's how damn big of a deal he is. Against Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, right now, is one of Trump's allies. Was he always that way? No. When John McCain was alive, he was John McCain's puppet. But right now, we need Lindsey in the House. We can't, or the Senate. We can't give up the Senate. We need to keep the majority in the Senate. I doubt we get the majority back in the House, because that was a lot of seats to gain. But in 2 years, we can get the House again. And then we get all Republicans. Folks, look at what President Trump has done. Before this man-made pandemic, look at what he done. Look at how he had more jobs than we could fill. And people's salaries were going up. People were making more money than they've ever made. Black, white, Hispanic, Japanese, Chinese, you name it. They were making more money. Small business startups were growing. Opportunity zones being knocked out of the park. A lot of people don't know what opportunity zones are. That's bad areas of town that President Trump and Tim Scott and other senators were getting together and trying to go in and help people go in and refurbish these areas, grow these areas. There is absolutely no need in America for a low-income part of town to be low income. We need to raise these areas up. Give these areas jobs. Now, they're not going to be high-paying jobs because look at the quality of work you got to do in there. But let's just say that you need Jimmy John's Rib Shack down on the corner. Everybody loves ribs. You got to have somebody to cut your hair. You got to have somebody do your nails. You got to have a mechanic. You got to have somebody to work on your house. Somebody to work on your apartment. Apartments should be a temporary thing, not a permanent fixture in your neighborhoods. Folks, this is what we need to do. We need to fix America like this from within. But we got to stop the Democrats versus Republicans, Republicans versus Democrats. And we got to do what's right for America. I understand from the beginning of time, you're going to have poor people, middle-class people, and rich people. Under President Trump, we had more middle-class people than any other time in history. And it wasn't $30,000, $40,000 middle class. It was $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 middle class. This is what we need to do. This is what we got to do. Tomorrow, November 3rd, do your part. Vote. Vote your conscience. Vote your guide. Don't vote for Democrats. Democrats, ask yourself, when's the last time you see Nancy Pelosi at a soup kitchen? When's the last time you see Nancy Pelosi offer her house up for anybody to come and help? When's the last time you seen Chuck Schumer pay anybody's rent? When's the last time you seen Bernie Sanders, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib invest their money, go in a community, build some low-income houses, Section 8 houses, flip them, and help these people become homeowners? That happens where I live. That happens in area town where I do. And it's all thanks to Democrats and Republicans working together in South Carolina, in the upstate of South Carolina. Shit won't happen in Charleston. I had called, what was his name? I forget what his name was. The black guy that died here recently. I had called his office, and we were going to sit down and talk before he passed away up in Baltimore. We can do this if we come together as a nation. John Lewis. We can do this if we come together as a nation. I'm one man. If you've got money, do you want to help me start a small business? You want to help me help a man start a small business? I'll be glad to listen. I'll be glad to work with you any way I can. Used to, in the construction industry, you had black men that were brick masons. You had black men that were concrete workers. You always had drunken alcoholic men that were doing roofing work. You always had the white guys that was doing the drywall and everything. Let's go back to getting this work away from these Hispanics. Still work with Hispanics, because there's more construction work out here that we can use. But we need to be opportunity. We need to use this to grow America. We've got jobs for Americans. We got jobs for immigrants, legal immigrants. We shouldn't be just opening the floodgates and saying, hey, come on in. Nancy Pelosi don't open her gate like that. Chuck Schumer has a lock on his door. AOC, shit, she won't even damn answer the telephone at her office. Rashida Tlaib is the only one out of the squad members that you can speak with, a member of her staff, and they give you good conversation, good feedback, and have good talks. And they listen. And that's in Detroit. But if enough and enough would call and call and call, then we could do it. But that don't happen. So folks, I'm telling y'all this. I promise you, tomorrow, if you live in these cities where they're having to board up their businesses, shut down for the day, in fear of something happening. I'm not going to say fear of what happening, because I don't know what could happen. But in all reality, what should happen is these governors, these mayors, since elections are state problems, state run, it's not President Trump's job to call in the National Guard. But these mayors, these governors, these county, city council members should show the people what they mean. Atlanta, Charlotte, Baltimore, Los Angeles, wherever it's at. You should come up there and you should tell your people, enough's enough. The bullshit stops. Bring in support for the police officers. It's written in law. You can't break in. You can't riot. You can't loot. Why in the hell all of these Democrat cities are letting people go in and just steal shit at the drop of a bucket's beyond me. We did a parade yesterday. 3 different cities did a parade in South Carolina. I'm sure there was more because I read about it. But in the upstate of South Carolina, Greenville done a parade, Simpsonville done a parade, Malden done a parade, and in Little Orange County down below them done a parade. I hadn't heard about Spartanburg, but I'm sure they done as well. Over 1,000 people combined were in all of these parades. And in the parade I participated in, we had white people, black people, Hispanics, and even some Chinese or Japanese. We had gays, lesbians. I didn't see any trans, but anyway. We had whites married to blacks, blacks married to whites. That's the way America is. So let your conscience be your guide. Vote tomorrow and do what's right for America. And if you see somebody that you think's going to start some shit after this vote, do your job as a man, as a woman. Tell your man, honey, they fixing to go over there and rob that store. I promise you this, if enough Americans stand up, stand together, these riot and looters don't stand a chance. I'll be there with you guys. We will be there together. America first. I love you guys. Stay safe tomorrow.